Welcome to another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we are at Thoreau High School, home of the Hawks and their football team and head coach Coach Loera. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks, JP.
Let's talk about the postseason. We recently announced the seeds and the brackets and the playoffs, who's in the field. Thoreau, district champs, you're in as a 9 seed. Yeah. What did you think about the 9 seed and the way things kind of stack up for you?
I don't think kind of a slap in the face compared to, other teams that aren't in our caliber that got in ahead of us. But, hey, we got to win those games outside our district in order for people to respect us.
What does it mean for Thoreau to make the postseason, make the playoffs, and still be playing?
What does it mean, boys? Oh, yeah. No, it means a lot to us. And we put in the work all summer, all during the season, and it shows. We just got to hope we're coming into fully healthy, coming into the playoffs, so that we're the team I know we can be.
You mentioned hope you're healthy coming in. Hope being a key word. You play Hope Christian in the opening round. How do you match up with the Huskies?
I think we match up well with them. We played them 2 years ago. They had the same coach. Back then, their offense was more vanilla. They've added some folds to their offense, so obviously they're a much better team. So we'll be watching game film today on them all week. And we got to come 100% 4 quarters football, or else we're going to have trouble.
What do we need to know about this team? Tell me a little bit about the style you guys are playing. Who's carrying the load a lot of the way?
We're able to pass the ball and run it, which helps us. If they shut down the line, then we're able to pass the ball outside. So having that multi-dimensional aspect to our offense, it really helps us move the ball. If they close the middle, we could spread the ball outside. Defensively, we've always been really tough. Like I said, it's a matter of just us making sure we're healthy going into the game Friday.
Well, you're on a 7-game win streak. You went through district unbeaten, built up a 22-0 lead last Friday, held on for the victory. How do you keep this momentum going?
We gotta take it as another game. We got to grind. We got to do our research, which I spent all weekend when we found out, well, not all weekend, but Sunday, watching game film and watching Hope, looking at their tendencies, and we just we got to bring it. 4 quarters, not 2, not 1, not 3. We got to bring it for 4 quarters.
You've had 3 shutouts this season and put up some points, scoring 37 or more in 6 of your last 7 games. Are you more impressed by your defense or your offense?
Oh, our defense is always solid. With the offense, having a new quarterback this year, it's kind of changed up the offense a little bit, but our defense is always solid. We got, Coach Jim here works our line. Coach Mark works with mainly with the offense and our JV. Coach Bear Eagle, who couldn't be here today, he's a defensive guru. So between us 4 coaches, we're able to kind of put together a good game plan, and it's worked.
What is the key of that game plan to getting that first win and moving on? And the winner of that game goes on to face top seed St. Michael's, which is a task in itself.
Oh, man.
But before you get ahead to that, what is that key?
Well, a game at a time. So we got to show up against Hope. They're completely capable of beating us. If we don't show up, they can embarrass us. We can embarrass ourselves. So we got to come in the way we play. St. Michael's, that's a tough task, but we just got to go in and play. These guys all know it. They got to show up and they got to play, and give their best effort for us to even have a chance of.
And lastly, take me into the locker room before the game. You seem like a fiery coach. What are your words of wisdom to these guys? What's your last message before they run out on the field?
After I do my ritual, my pregame ritual, I'll always vomit before the game, man. It's just me. I get my nerves up, and then I could yell at the kids. But they already know what to do. They're geared. We're used to winning. And the thing is, we got to get used to beating these teams that are not in this area. This is not really known as a football area, but we have no power over who we play. That's our district, and the only thing we could do is beat these teams convincingly, and so that we get respect at the state level. Obviously, our non-district schedule, we got to win those games too, for people to take us seriously.
All right, well. District champs, congratulations.
Thanks, JP.
And good luck in the postseason.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be back with more Game Time after this.
Go Hawks.
Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
There are always a few things you need to take along in order to give your best. Things like heart, comfort, and care. And with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico, you'll take heart, having a local partner as passionate in watching your community thrive as you are. You'll take comfort, assured the promise and peace of mind that comes with the Blue Cross card has been handed down through generations. But most of all, you'll take care, confident the support you trust will be forever in reach for all the journeys to come.
Hi, my name is Ty Gaddy. I am from Thoreau High School. Welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. Well, the regular season in high school football is a wrap, but before we break down the playoff brackets, let's take a look back at some of the regular season finales. It was rivalry week around the state of New Mexico. Cleveland never trailed in a 43-12 win against rival Rio Rancho. Cleveland has beaten the Rams 12 of their last 16 meetings. Centennial remains unbeaten on the year after a 42-24 win against Las Cruces. The Hawks claim the district title and a number 2 seed at state. The upset of the week happened in the Four Corners. Piedra Vista won just their 3rd game of the year, beating crosstown rival Farmington 29-19. The Panthers forced 5 turnovers and punched their ticket to the playoffs. Roswell blanked rival Goddard 27-0 and cemented their spot as the top seed in Class 5A. The Coyotes scored 3 of their 4 touchdowns in the second half. In another rivalry game, St. Michael's improved to 10-0 on the year with a 34-21 win over Robertson in a rematch of last year's state title game. The Horsemen put up 27 points in the first half and never looked back. Deming beat Gadsden in a grinded-out kind of game, 15-7. Deming earned the 3 seed in the postseason, and Gadsden the 4. Both have first-round byes. Artesia went on the road and wrapped up the regular season with a 42-28 win at Mayfield. Quarterback Isaac Cazares accounted for 5 touchdowns, 4 of them on the ground. Los Lunas posted a shutout on the final week of the regular season, 44-0 over Sandia. The Tigers rushed for over 400 yards in this one. Volcano Vista rolls into the playoffs, posting a big number. The Hawks handled Cibola to the tune of 49-0. Volcano Vista forced 5 turnovers. They've won 8 of their last 9 games. Valencia beat Albuquerque Academy 42-13. Michael Storms rushed for over 200 yards and a pair of scores. Quarterback Aiden Harrington threw for 186 and rushed for 100 of his own and a pair of TDs. St. Pius ran the table in district, capped off with a 16-7 win over Manzano. Sophomore running back Herschel Alloway Jr. scored both touchdowns for the Sartans. Los Alamos clinched the district championship with a 43-22 win over Miramura last week. The Hilltoppers scored a pair of touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of the game. They've won 7 in a row. Let's take a look at the brackets for the postseason. In Class 6A, La Cueva, Centennial, Cleveland, and Volcano Vista are your top 4 seeds who get a first-round bye. La Cueva is the defending state champ, and they have dynamic quarterback Cam Dyer.
It's ridiculous what he can do with the football in his hand. When you got a quarterback who can run and throw, that puts so much stress on the defense. A couple years ago, we played Cleveland with Wysong back there, and that's such a whole different ball game when you've got a guy who can hurt you with both, and that's what Cam brings to us athletically. Obviously, he's one of the best athletes in the state, but for me personally, it's who he is as a young man, the character he brings, the leadership he brings. Those are the things that separate him. There's great talent at every school. Every school's got a kid that can make plays, but for me, it's his leadership and what he does to help develop the younger kids that really separates him. He's just a great person. He's a great teammate to be around.
In Class 5A, Roswell earned the number 1 seed, their last year's runner-up. Artesia is the defending state champ. Deming and Gadsden both get first-round byes.
It gives you a chance to go maybe see some of these teams you're going to potentially play in person, extra time to scout for some of these guys, and then just work on the little things that maybe you didn't have the time to kind of work on because you got a team to play that week. And now you can kind of emphasize a little bit as you go into that other week. And, you know, anytime you're in the postseason and you get a bye, like I said, you're just 1 or 2 wins closer to playing in the big game.
Here's a look at the Class 4A bracket. Last year's runner-up Portales is a 5 seed with a home game this week. Bloomfield is unbeaten and the top seed coming into the playoffs.
Well, we have a great quarterback in Blake Spencer and a core receivers and running back, and our O-line's phenomenal. But my hat's off to Coach Lynch and his defense. He's been very stingy this year, and to get you to the finals, you're going to have a defense that can be aggressive, tenacious, and just hold people out.
In Class 3A, unbeaten defending state champ St. Michael's is your top seed. Runner-up Robertson also gets a first-round bye. The Cardinals have reached the final 6 of the last 8 years.
I think there's 5 teams that could get hot and win. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. You know, you have, there's Thoreau, Nimi, Dexter, St. Mike's. You even throw in West Las Vegas that played us really, really, really good, a couple weeks ago. So, whoever's hot. I think whoever's hot. And that's the way it is every year. Some teams get hot and get on a roll, and they're the teams that you got to watch for.
Texaco is the top team in Class 2A. They are undefeated and won it all last season. Legacy Academy made the move to 11-man football this season, and they come into the playoffs with only 1 loss on the year.
What's exciting is I think they look at us as, small school, not very good, brand new. You used to be 8-man, so I think it could be easy for them to overlook us or underestimate us. And so that excites me because I think we can go up and, or we could go down there and show them up a little bit and let them know what Legacy's all about.
And what is Legacy all about?
Legacy's about fast, physical football that you're not going to like to play us because we're going to give you our best shot every time.
Here's what the updated 8-man bracket looks like. Top seed Melrose will host Lordsburg. Clayton will travel to Gateway Christian. Mesilla Valley will take on Tatum, and Fort Sumner House will host Escalante. The 6-man bracket is down to the final 4. Logan, Elida, Mountainair, and Grady.
Hi, my name is Jordan Caladito. I'm from Thoreau, and we'll be back with more game time after this.
At Jiffy Lube, we car about cars. In fact, we're kind of obsessed. It's why we've been taking car business with quick quality service for over 40 years.
Are you saying car?
That's right, Claire. And with things like our Carful Vehicle Review, where our experts check, fill, inspect, and clean your vehicle, you'll know we'll car for your car like we car for our own. Some people think it's just an oil change. Who cars? We do. We car.
You mean care?
Exactly. Jiffy Lube. Car more.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Hi, my name is Irvin Tom from Dewey High School. Check out the latest volleyball polls.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. We have reached the semifinals of the state soccer championships. At this time next week, we will have crowned 6 new state champions in soccer. Let's take a look at who reached the Final 4 in each classification. In girls, Class A through 3A, one semifinal is a rematch of last year's state final. Defending champ Sandia Prep will host Bosque. Ruidoso will take on first-year program Cottonwood Classical in the other semifinal. In Class 4A, Hope Christian is still on track for a possible four-peat. First, they have to get by St. Pius in the semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, it's Albuquerque Academy and Los Alamos. Girls Class 5A looks like this. Number 1 La Cueva will meet up with Volcano Vista, and El Dorado will travel to Las Cruces to take on the number 2 seed. On the boys' side, Class A through 3A, another rematch of last year's state final between defending champ New Mexico Military Institute and #1 Sandia Prep. Santa Fe Prep will host Bosque in the other game, with the winner going to the final. The 4A Final Four looks like this: St. Pius, Hope Christian, Los Alamos, and Albuquerque Academy. The Sartans are the top seed and defending state champ. In boys Class 5A, top seed Centennial will host El Dorado, and it's Rio Rancho and La Cueva in the other semifinal. Good luck to all the teams competing this week. Don't forget, the finals will be on Friday and Saturday, and it's digital ticketing only. So to get your tickets, go to gofan.co/NMAA. That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. Thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in next week, because you never know where we're going to be, who we're going to talk to, and who's going to get the spotlight. But you do know the place to find the most high school highlights, it's right here. We'll see you next time on Game Time.